Hey there guys, the Uncensored Gnome here with this year's annual video. Seriously, I think it's just become a running joke and pretty well known that I can't consistently make videos. But nonetheless, I'm here with a new video, and in this video we're going to be discussing that DC wants another movie to be released in 2018. Currently for 2018, the only thing that DC has to be released is Aquaman, which was originally going to come out in October, but was pushed back to December. Meaning that the next DCEU film won't come out until 13 months after Justice League. And Warner Bros. And DC's competitors, Fox and Marvel, already have multiple films slated for that year. So to keep interest in the DCEU and this sea of superhero cinematic universes, you are going to need at least 2 films per year. Originally The Flash, and I think even Shazam were going to come out that year, but Flash has been delayed multiple times due to directors leaving and rewrites, and I don't even know what's happening with Shazam. I think if The Flash had not been delayed, it would have been perfect for this 2018 release. Branching off of the success of Justice League, if Flash or Aquaman are going to be the standouts, which it seems that they are, then to have those 2 solo films come out off of the success of Justice League would have helped them out a lot, and to keep the DCEU fresh in our minds. Now, being that summer 2018 is only a year away, and I'm guessing that's when they would release this second film that they want, the only film that I could think of for the DCEU that could be filmed within a year and ready to be released is Gotham City Sirens. Suicide Squad started filming April 13th, 2015, and was released August 5th, 2016, and that had a ton more CGI than I'm expecting Gotham City Sirens to have. Gotham City Sirens was announced a little after Suicide Squad, and David Ayer was announced as the director in December 2016. If they were to start filming around now or a little bit later in the summer, that'd give them at least 4 to 6 months, depending on when they'd start filming, to actually have written the script and do all that pre-production stuff with casting and whatnot. I'm guessing filming would most likely take another 4 to 6 months, considering it seems that it'll only be a contained movie in Gotham or in some other famous DC city. I'd guess that filming would only take 4 to 6 months, but apparently they did already have a script written that I'm sure they've done touch-ups on or rewrites, and David Ayer, who will be directing, has teased the original lineup of Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy, with Black Mask being the main villain. So my guess would be that maybe the Gotham City Sirens are hired by a third party to stop Black Mask, or something morally motivates them to go after him. But aside from any Ivy effects, I think the film could be made on a relatively low budget for a superhero film of $70 or $80 million. Since this was announced as a Harley Quinn movie and Margot Robbie will be producing, I'd guess that they would pick actresses that wouldn't take the spotlight away from Margot Robbie and Harley Quinn. Even though I'd like Charlize Theron for the role of Catwoman, I think she'd possibly take the show away from Margot Robbie. She'd be perfect for the role of Catwoman in my opinion, and she would also add star power to the role. However, they most likely won't go with her. My second choice would be Rosamund Pike, who actually starred alongside Ben Affleck in Gone Girl, so the chemistry is already there. She wouldn't take the star power away from Margot Robbie, but I think she'd do a fabulous job in the role. One thing you have to be aware of is that this is a Catwoman for the entire DCEU, so you'll want someone who'll be a good fit with Ben Affleck. There was this rumor about this younger actress, Haley Bennett, taking on the role, and my problem with this is that she was about 10 years younger than Ben Affleck, and noticeably so. The Catwoman and Batman are supposed to be equals. Having a younger actress play her would be like that weird love thing Bruce Timm keeps trying to establish between Batman and Barbara Gordon. So basically, in a perfect world, Charlize Theron, but Rosamund Pike would seem more likely. Both who are around Ben Affleck's age but can play up the sexy aspect of the character. The only problem I could see coming up is with Rosamund Pike. If they go with her and she needs to go through some sort of physical training for the role, that would take about a month or 2 out of filming. Well, I mean, I guess they could actually film the scenes without her in it, or the scenes where she's just talking and there isn't like any physical movement or fighting in it, and just do those action scenes whenever she's physically ready. You could maybe get Emily Blunt or Rebecca Ferguson, both of which who have done action films before, but I think Rosamund or Charlize would add legitimacy to the role. Rebecca Ferguson doesn't really have any star power, and Emily Blunt seems like a really B actress to me. Now for Ivy, I don't really think you need anyone with as much star power. One choice I have made for the role is Lady Gaga. I think she would do a pretty good job in the role. Now before you say no, I say to you, go watch American Horror Story. She does really well in the role she's given, and the character she plays also acts a lot like Ivy in the way she talks and moves and whatnot. And I'm sure Gaga would be fine with the Mystique-esque nudity needed for the role. There was this rumor that Megan Fox was cast, which is entirely a rumor, but if it were true, I wouldn't be that mad. I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't be angered either. There's this show called New Girl where Megan Fox had to replace Zooey Deschanel for a while, and when they originally announced it, I was pretty upset, but she actually didn't do too bad in the role, and surprisingly grew on me. I think because of movies like Transformers and being labeled a hot girl, and even some comments that she's made, is why she doesn't get a lot of respect in Hollywood. But if she were cast in the role, I don't think it'd be time to immediately go on a rampage. Rampage. I don't like Jessica Chastain as an actress, so before you ask, no. I can maybe see her overacting working in the role, and she does add some legitimacy in the way that she's older and could seem like she's been in Gotham for a while, but I don't know, I just don't really like her in anything I've ever seen her in other than The Help, and the character she played in that is far from what I would like Ivy to be portrayed as. Even though Eva Green is my top pick for Talia al Ghul, I think she could actually be a pretty great Ivy, and it doesn't seem like the Al Ghuls are coming to the DCEU anytime soon, considering that they've been put on Arrow. Famke Janssen would have been great in the role a couple of years ago. However, she's in her 50s now, and I think she's a little too old. Lena Headey might also be an interesting choice. Bryce Dallas Howard has stated that she's interested in playing Ivy, which I think she might actually fit into the role. I haven't seen much for movies, so I'm not sure about her acting, but I haven't heard many negatives, and she is very likable, so I could see her doing well promoting the film. Which is another thing. Whenever I'm thinking about the cast, I'm considering the fact that you don't want the same person in those 3 seats of the group interviews. You don't want 3 young hot blondes sitting in those 3 chairs in the group interviews, just repeating the same thing over and over again because they're basically the same person. I don't know, something would tell me that it'd be a bad PR choice. You want 3 people who are unique and bring something interesting to the table in terms of both off-screen and on-screen. They could maybe also go with an unknown if they were trying to go with someone who wouldn't take the star power away from Margot Robbie. Not an open casting unknown who was just an extra a week ago, but someone who's been in the side character role of movies and TV. I'm not entirely sure about Ivy. I'd say go with someone who can play up the sex appeal, but has this sort of mystique to them. Speaking of mystique, it actually just came to me that Rebecca Romaine would be perfect. The way I'm imagining Ivy, she's mysterious and keeps to herself and only talks when needed. She's very beautiful, and I think Rebecca Romaine would do a fabulous job with that. Ivy's the mystique, possibly quite literally. Harley's the fun, and Catwoman is the brains. Or I guess you'd say the lady with a plan, because the other 2 women are very smart, but Catwoman knows exactly what she wants, and she aims just for that. That's how I'd do it. I'd also maybe play up Harley Quinn's psychology skills as well. For Black Mask, I'd go with a name talent. Someone actually like Ben Affleck. Maybe a little bit slimmer, but with the name recognition and around the same age. Brad Pitt would be a good choice. He's not in the running for cable anymore, and if he wants to get in the superhero business, maybe this can be his start. I only see problems arising with the mask and having to wear it an entire film. If he takes it off, you'll be doing a disloyalty to the character, and it'd be like the Mystique situation with X-Men Apocalypse. But I'd have to say a name talent would be the best choice for Black Mask. But like I said, this shouldn't be too CGI heavy. And I could see this coming out in the summer and be sort of like Deadpool in terms of production. And it could be a good idea if it came after Justice League, because you don't want people to forget about Suicide Squad and those types of characters. And it could make a ton of money if it's made on a lower budget but comes off of the success of Justice League. One thing I'd suggest for the DCEU as a whole is to feel more connected. So have all your movies serve for a greater purpose. Suicide Squad didn't really feel connected to the universe aside from the Ben Affleck cameos. You don't have to say the Gotham City Sirens are setting up for Justice League 2 or are fighting parademons, but you could say that after the fallout of Justice League there was this alien tech left over and Black Mask is smuggling it, or that's what his guards are using or something. Little things like that can make your movies feel like they're in a larger universe. I wouldn't want a Joker cameo, maybe a mention, but not like an actual flashback or anything like that. There was this rumor that in Justice League, Harley Quinn decides to leave Joker after this really nice capture scene, where Harley Quinn and Joker are captured by the Justice League at the end of the movie, and Joker is being abusive towards Harley, so she says quits on the relationship. Going into Gotham City Sirens, you could say that she found a home with Ivy and Catwoman, who could have had a pre-existing relationship. At the end of Gotham City Sirens, you could have Harley and maybe even Ivy be captured by Argus and put back on the squad for Suicide Squad 2. Amanda Waller at the end would be a good cameo, and like I said, you're setting up for Suicide Squad 2, so your movies feel more connected. I also wouldn't want a cameo from Batman. It could make sense, but he's already in so much that I wouldn't want to have to stress out Ben Affleck, and he's not even necessary here. This movie should solely just focus on the Gotham City Sirens, and whatever shenanigans they're pulling on Black Mask. These are just a couple ideas I'm throwing around, but I think that they could work out really well. I do think it's necessary for 2 movies per year, but I'd ask them not to rush it, and just try to make a good film. If they have nothing planned, just stick with Aquaman and come back strong in 2019. So anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys like it because this is my last video for this year. Haha, just kidding. I know, I'm very funny.
He's a funny guy! I'm a funny guy!
And I had you guys crying right there because you thought I wasn't going to make a new video. Probably not, but I am still going to try to make another video. My next video is going to be a Wonder Woman speculation video, and you should look for that about maybe 2 weeks from now. I can't make any promises, but I am trying to get on a better schedule. As always, I am, but seriously, there is a Wonder Woman speculation video coming out that I'm really actually proud of because it's a really cool idea. And I think you guys are going to like it. So make sure to subscribe if you have not already. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think DC's next movie should be next year, and what ideas you have for Gotham City Sirens. Like the video if you think DC should hire me as an idea man at least, because I at least think these sound like pretty good ideas that would translate well into a movie. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Gnome, signing out.